picture. Maybe one day we'll be free. Be free. If I'm gonna love me, yeah. If I'm gonna trust me, yeah. Don't need no one to tell me that. Don't need no one to hold me back. If I'm gonna love me, yeah. If I'm gonna trust me, yeah. Don't need no one to tell me that. Oh yeah, I do it for love. Work harder, get stronger. I do it 'cause I do it for love. I'm better forever. I do it 'cause I do it for love. I do it for love. I do it for love. I do it 'cause I do it for love.
Infiltrated hearts, never too late to be healed. Never give up on the love is for real. When everything is feeling shattered, pick up and rebuild. And when you writing from the soul, it's not for the grill. And every sweet 16 is nothing to kill. I think you focused on your money and all of your meals. And all the stress that you carry, you buried in bills. And ain't the dress that you wearing, you missing the heels.
I'm gonna trust me, yeah. Don't need no one to tell me that. Don't need no one to hold me back. If I'm gonna love me, yeah. If I'm gonna trust me, yeah. Don't need no one to tell me that. Oh yeah, I do it for love. Work harder, get stronger. I do it 'cause I do it for love. I'm better forever. I do it 'cause I do it for love. I do it for love. I do it for love. I do it 'cause I do it for love.
Right on. That was Alessandra Grace with "I'll Do It for Love." A little bit different from the song we usually play in the show, but a great tune nonetheless. I love that collaboration and kind of almost you're kind of somewhat run of the mill, basic kind of hip hop R&B soul mix, but it was a great tune. I really liked it. Love your voice.
Yeah, it's definitely got that sort of it's a slightly overproduced pop sound, but I've got a little bit of a guilty pleasure, you know. And I've sung on my show back in February, and I still listen to it today. I think it's a great track. It seems to have a bit of everything really that I like about it. It's just it just seems to work. It's just a great track, and again, it just feels that guilty pleasure for me. So.
Yeah, I think that's it. And what I really like about stuff like that is, you know, it's a pop track, and we're sometimes, I think all of us who do any sort of independent promotion for bands, whether it's by radio or whatever, sometimes we're a bit guilty of kind of dissing pop music. But what's really good about this, of course, is it's an independent artist. So it's not someone that's been dragged in because, you know, they look nice and they can sort of vaguely sing and been over. They've done that on their own, which I think is brilliant. So they've taken what they like from perhaps from a mainstream influence and put their own take on it. And by that, you know, by doing that, it already sounds 20 times better than anything in the top 40 that I could. Well, I couldn't name anything in the top 40 nowadays. Do you know what I mean? It's got that. It's done really, really well, and it's beautiful. And that's what music is all about. It's about creating it. That's what's missing, I think, and that's where. You know, I hope people don't get us wrong when we sometimes knock on a bit of the mainstream. It's just that no one's creating that. It's you know, it's 20 people sitting in different rooms that someone puts together. Whereas this is something that they've done really, really well on their own, or with that collaboration. They've done it beautifully, and she's got a brilliant voice. It's a great track. We were only saying earlier this year or later last year, you know, there's not a lot of kind of rap or hip hop things that we play, and yet, funnily enough, I don't know if it's as a consequence of us saying that, we've had loads of artists come through recently. It's like, yeah, this is the kind of thing we'll definitely play.
Well, that's right.
It's not that we don't. Slim that come in and all all the rest of it. There's loads of stuff that just oh yeah, no, it's brilliant because when it's done independently, it's got that passion in it, and no one's kind of knocked it out of them, which I absolutely love. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's a really good track, and she's got a beautiful voice, and I wish her every success. Is that the one that won an award or something recently, Stuart? Is that right?
No, that's still to come yet.
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler alert.
I'm sure it will win an award one day soon.
But a pop track, it has to be done well. It has to be done well for it to work. And I think that track really has been done very, very well. And that's why it works. And that's why I picked it tonight, because it's just beautifully made. It's just a beautifully made track. And she's unsigned, and she has all the elements you want for a great pop track, which is probably far better than all the crap that's in the bloody chunks that is there anywhere at the moment. So 100%
agree with that. 100%.
Sorry about that. I was just telling my dog she got her collar on, telling her not to bark. So if you heard that, that was Willa. So I do apologize. She tends to bark on randomly without actually seeing anything. So my apologies. But back to guilty pleasures. I want to bring this up because this has been a big thing in kind of like in my family and with Em as well. And I remember probably at least almost 20 years ago now, my dad and I were talking, and he was asking about guilty pleasures for music. And he goes, "Well, what's your guilty pleasure?" Like, "You know what? I really don't know." He goes, "Well, you know what? Mine is Beach Boys." And Mike had mentioned before, the Beach Boys, their album Pet Sounds is the best Beach Boys album ever, and Mike Love is an effing genius. I mean, that was hands down the best album ever by Beach Boys. And so that's a guilty pleasure right there. And I'm just curious, as the question, so Mike and Stuart, what's your guilty pleasures for music?
My guilty pleasure is I did this once or twice as a joke, and it's now become a regular thing. But I quite often will, while our bass player is tuning, so we have some songs that are in kind of flattened tuning and some that are in drop D and stuff like that. While he's tuning on stage, I will more often than not now play "Baby One More Time" by Britney Spears, and kind of get as far through it as I can before he tunes up, because we're not rich enough to have people bring us other guitars, and we've got songs in other tunings, so we have to, it's raw when you see 1 in 5. So yeah, there's that. And the other thing, I have no shame in admitting that I owned both the Spice Girls albums, Two Boys Own albums, all kinds of, when I was, really into buying, first of all, singles on tape and then singles on CD and then albums, I listened to a real mix of kind of everything. And so I've got loads of stuff that I still think is really, really good. I still listen to a lot of that. If someone said, "Oh, you're in the pub and there's a jukebox and you see like a Spice Girls track," I'd put one or two of those on still. I mean, I think they're actually really decent, really decent songs. But equally at the same time, obviously I discovered, bands like Supergrass and stuff like that, and that's I went more in that direction as I grew older. But I think when you're younger in particular, it doesn't matter what you're listening to. It's just the fact that you're listening to stuff and getting involved. Music is such a passionate thing. My son, as I've said before, is 6, turned 6 this year. He started guitar lessons this year. Bought him a guitar for Christmas. And last night, his guitar teacher taught him Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, which I've actually never learned to play.
Awesome.
And not very hard, by the way.
That's not a guilty pleasure. I love the White Stripes, hands down. But how awesome is that? Just like, he's 6. He's listening to that. He's listening to AC/DC. But then something comes on the radio and he'll sing along to it as well. So I love that kind of freedom of youth. I think it's awesome.
And that's the beauty of music. It's it doesn't matter. The spectrum has to be wide for it to be enjoyable. If you keep the spectrum narrow, it just doesn't work. So, but then my guilty pleasure is like S Club 7. Don't Stop Moving. Oh my God, what a great track! What an awesome track! I absolutely love it. One day I'm going to put a band together and I'm going to re-record "Don't Stop Moving" by S Club 7, because it's just the best track I've ever heard as my guilty pleasure.
I'm just going to say one more thing, actually, Bonesy, which is, so I go to a folk festival, which I mentioned before, every year, Cropredy, which is in a village called Cropredy near Banbury in Oxfordshire, and I've been something like I don't know, 14 years or something this year. And this year's got a great lineup, so it's in August. The Levelers are headlining on the Friday, one of my favourite all-time bands. It's got loads of other random bands I've never heard of. But on the Thursday night, so on the first night, the headliner is Brian Wilson playing Pet Sounds.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah.
And Guilty
So
Pleasure.
I'm going to be right up there, mate.
Britney Spears, Womanizer.
M's Guilty Pleasure is Womanizer, Britney Spears.
Oh, nothing wrong with a bit of Britney. Nothing wrong with it.
No. What about you, Dave? What's your guilty pleasure?
All right,
Any rage? No time to think. It's okay.
I can't think.
Well, that kills that conversation. I do apologise. So,
no.
I think we should make that a standard question we ask people, what's your guilty pleasure?
Yeah, right. It's a great one because my dad, I never would have thought that because he's a hardcore, Beatles fan, that sort of thing. And when he told me about that, he goes, you know what? I was listening to the CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I was listening to this guy, and he's talking about Pet Sounds. He's like, you know what? I'm not a big Beach Boys fan, but that's a great album. And I was like, you know what? You're right, because Mike Love is a genius. Like, for that album, alone, I agree with him. I mean, a lot of different stuff, but for that album alone, Mike Genius, man, the genius behind that is absolutely unbelievable. You have to listen to it vocally, everything. It's just so well laid out. Wow.
It's brilliantly done. What I'm going to do now that I know how much you love that album is I'm going to live stream some of that in August, and I'm going to tag you in it, mate. So you get to see
man,
it.
I can download and send to you right now in about a few minutes. So I'll give it to you. Don't bother streaming it. I'll download it to you.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I'll be there, mate. I'll be there in the field. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen.
Maybe. Well, a bit. We did do the hat and the nose. So.
I was in HMV on last week, and Pet Sounds was available to buy in HMV still. So if it's still available now on vinyl, at this point, it shows the test of time just how much of a great album it really was. So.
Honestly, it really is. I'm a great fan of music, but that album, it just blows me away every time I listen to it, because that's a staple for Em and I to listen to when we're doing stuff around the house and sort of thing. So we kind of get into the album a lot, and the biggest one we get into is God Only Knows, and that the orchestration of that song alone, forget the vocals, it just blows my mind. So. That being said, we're going to move on to our next song. And our next song is, let's see here. Right on.
Next one's by Brian Wilson, isn't it? That relatively unknown artist.
Oh, close, but this is Parmi Dillon with Friend or Foe. Dig this.
Down by the river sits a man and eats. Out on the river, he tells you patiently, he says, I know you think you're clever, and I know you think you're smart, but when the devil comes, and he will call, would time remember you? Down with the broken sits a man in need. King of the broken, he tells you honestly. He says, I know you think you're special, and I know you think you're great, but when the devil comes, and he will come, would time remember you?